guys, welcome to the Everett Silver Show. We have exciting guests as we do every week, and so I want to thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm always bringing it to you, so thanks so much for staying in tune with us. Stay connected. You're watching the Everett Silver Show. Well, folks, I want to welcome my special guest, Dr. Carol Crawford Danner is here with us. I tell you, she is uh, a visionary, a leader in the global gospel music industry for over 30 years of experience. I'm telling you, just spanning artist representation, event production, media relations. I mean, strategic leader. Also, the founder and president of Back to Back PR Global. And so we got to talk about this, but I want to welcome the one and only Dr. Carol Crawford to our show. Carol, Doctor, how are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you. So good to be
Well,
here.
well, let's talk before we really get into the big event that you're having October 1st through the 3rd. Let's
Yeah.
talk about a little bit about your company. We mentioned Back to Back PR.
Yeah.
What do you do? What does that looks like?
Back to Back PR Global, we support independent artists, we educate them, we promote them, we represent them. So quite a few things. We started back in the late 90s when I had a gospel nightclub in the UK. And it was once a month, and we had a live DJ, live artists, music, food. It was great. And people came to me and they would ask me, how do I book the artist that I saw at your event? And so I started booking artists. And then they would say, how do I plan an event just like this? I want to do something at my church. So I would help them to plan their event. And I just realized that there were solutions were needed. People had questions, people wanted to know how to do things. And so I decided that I would be like the contact point, the point of contact to help meet some needs. One of the biggest needs were independent artists wanted to know how to get connected overseas. And of course, being born and raised in London, they would come to me and ask me, oh, can you take me on tour in the UK? And I said, well, I got a few questions for you. Are you on radio? Do you know anyone in the UK? Have you ever been to the UK? And all of them said no. So I said, well, it's not likely that you will be brought on a tour, but if you get to London, I'll get you connected. And that's what happened. And so, I asked artists so many questions about their music, and, it kind of morphed into administration. And the first thing I always do is find out, are you registered? Do you know, are you doing this as a career or are you doing this as a business? Well, then, we've got two ways that we can move forward with this. And so, providing solutions. So Back to Back PR is a global publicity, promotions, and event production company. So that's the long and short of it.
Well, now I'm telling you because you do so many wonderful things. I had the wonderful privilege of meeting you on different events, and I got to tell you one thing, especially as an independent artist, what I fell in love with you about is that so many of us just don't know the business side of it, and we get caught up into the music ministry. We want to do things for the Lord, but all that stuff is fine. But if you don't have your business in place. And that's really what your International Music Summit coming up this October the 1st through the 3rd is going to be in Dallas, Texas. Talk about this event, how you have now mastermind behind helping someone like myself that's an independent artist, what we need to look for, the questions are going to be answered, and that's what your event does.
Yes, wonderful. Well, it really pains me when I see artists. There's so much good music out there. A lot of independent artists can perform, they can write songs, but they're always wondering, well, how can I? Why can't I? How can I chart? Why aren't I getting my royalties? And nobody is explaining to them there is a process, there's an administrative process. And so I just couldn't, go any further without responding to that need. And so the International Music Summit, we bring together practitioners that are in the industry, that are doing this thing full time, that can help to provide some knowledge, best practices, strategies for artists that are trying to make it through. There's a lot of the gospel labels closed some years ago. I was working at a label, it closed. And the artists are out in the cold. They're on their own.
Hmm.
The independent artist is now the label. And so if
Right.
that's the case, if that's the case, then as being the label, you need to know and understand what makes that label move and happen. All aspects of music production, marketing, branding, your registrations, your memberships, how you chart, how all of that. You as an independent artist now need to be educated in that. And so the International Music Summit provides education. It provides networking. It provides access to more of an international market because we also have our counterparts in the UK either coming to the summit or on Zoom, but we have radio, we have marketers, promoters, strategists. They're all participating in the summit. And it's growing. I'm getting calls from people in Africa, in Europe. And so we're just figuring out how we can, incorporate them. But the summit answers questions for independent artists. Okay, if you have released music, what does release mean?
Hmm.
Have you just put it out on social media? Have you registered with a DSP? There's so many acronyms. ISRC, UPC, DSP, what does all that mean? So we explain those acronyms and then we help to guide the independent artists so that they are now charting. They're now getting radio play in the UK. They're now meeting people that they're collaborating with. They're now getting their royalty. I just heard the other day that one of the artists got a royalty check after being educated in how do you get your royalties. And they didn't come back and tell me, but they were sharing it with someone else who shared it with me. And I said, that's good. We need to know this. We need to know this because it's working. Whatever
Yeah.
we're,
Dr. Curl, I got to ask you, I got to tell you this now because you didn't know this either. And I didn't know you were going to say that. But
yeah,
since you and we can't look, we can't give everything away because we got to make sure they come to the summit to get
right.
that. Right, right. But now, but here's the thing I want to tell you.
Yeah,
You sat down with me. You had a consultation with me. Do you not know? Ever since that meeting, that was only maybe 2 Saturdays or so ago.
yeah.
Uh, I received emails from Sound Exchange telling me how to set up, make sure that I want to receive it my money by check or by PayPal, and I went on and gave the information by PayPal, and that was all because of our sitting down with this you. I'm telling you, it works, guys. That's why I'm bringing it up.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. That's so good to know. I think I know what I'm talking about now. That is so
I
good.
know you know what you're talking about. I mean, so we're not going to give out all the secrets because
No,
that is really what the summit is all about. And sometimes, guys, you have to sow into something that means something to you, and that
right.
means sow into yourself. And then I know we don't have a lot of time because I don't want to take. I know you have some other things. You got a lot of stuff on the plate. But any last minute things you want to talk, we do got to talk about registration because we know registration is actually happening right now because
Yeah,
late registration, I understand, will be starting at September 1st. But if they
yeah,
do it now, talk a little bit about registration, Dr. Crawford.
definitely. Now, registration is 195. That gets you into all the sessions. We have 3 days of sessions. You get up close and personal with the practitioners. We also feed you. You get fed too. People can tell you it's like, oh my gosh, we're eating again. But I believe in treating people the way I would love to be treated myself. And so when
Yes.
I go to an event or a conference and I'm registering, I just don't want to sit at a blank table. It's decorated. We have some surprises. there's just so much in store. But the main thing is, please get educated, learn the business, learn the industry. You may not be able to take it all in at once, but at least grab some nuggets that you can apply to yourself. And so registration does go up on the 1st of September. That's because it's very last minute. We've got printing to do. We've got to get everything together. We need our numbers. And so we just encourage people to register now. We will host all events at the Doubletree by Hilton Dallas Campbell Center. We're going back to Dallas. Dallas owed us nothing in 2024. It was wonderful. The hotel, the staff, the area, the people. We've got so many friends in Dallas: Fitzgerald Davis, Carmina Barnett, Willie Mae MacGyver, Barbara Mitchell. So many friends, Carlton McConnell, and so our friends will be there. Our industry mates will be there. Our counterparts in the industry will be there, and we'll have a zooming in from the UK with UK practitioners as well. And we'll make sure you get connected. We're not gatekeepers. We provide email addresses and contact details. And so you'll receive all of that. But most of all, you'll receive, firsthand information that will equip you to do the best that you can do as an independent artist.
Well, I got to tell you, all of my viewing audience and the folks that are listening, I have Dr. Crawford. I'm going with Dr. Crawford. I tell anybody that I've just fell in love with Dr. Crawford, and we're going to be talking even more later, after this is over and things that we're doing. I'm going to be there, guys, and so I'm looking forward to being there. And so I've been telling everybody else, there's a few other artists I know from North Carolina, we're headed that way. And so any last minute things, Dr. Crawford, that you want to ask? Now, you mentioned, we talked about registration. I know the registration is $195, but
Yeah.
how long, the Doubletree you mentioned that they have up to register for that?
Sorry, the Doubletree Hotel, we have a special rate.
Mhm.
Everything is listed on the website,
Okay.
which is www.theinternationalmusicsummit.com. So you can book your room. You can book it up until September the 9th, and then call me if you need the rate after that. But they're holding our rate till September the 9th. And then if you have any questions, just email us, Global Summit Office globalsummitoffice@gmail.com.
That's what I love. Again, guys, Global Summit offered. You want to go ahead to go ahead and I just thank Dr. Crawford for just taking the time to be able to just be on our show. And so you're going to all over North Carolina, and so we thank you for that. Also, people can tune into the Everett Silver Show. You also can go online and watch it. You can watch it at the WHIGTV.com. That's how you can watch it live or online. And so again, Dr. Crawford, what a pleasure to have you. Any
Thank
last minute things you
you.
want to say bye to us? And then thank you so much for doing the show today.
Oh, thank you. I just want to encourage you, independent artists. There's space for you. There's room for you out there. You're doing great music. Just stay encouraged. Stay in the word. Stay in the word. Whatever you do, commit it to the Lord, and He will order your steps.
Dr. Crawford, I tell you, Dr. Carol Crawford Danner has been with us. Thank you so much for being with us. And we see you soon, Dr. Crawford, in
Thank
Dallas.
you so much.
All right, bye-bye.
Appreciate it.
You're
Bye-bye.
welcome. More guests coming your way. Don't touch that dial. I'll be back in a moment. Hi, Taylor. How you doing?
Hi, Everett. I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing wonderful. What a pleasure to have you. Well, folks, my special guest with us, I have Taylor Walker, who's going to join us, kind of tell us the scoop on the hottest back to school fashions for less guys. And so from Old Navy, hi, Taylor there. And thank you so much again for doing the show. So what are you seeing as the must for back to school fashion, and what is the vibe, girl?
Well, we have quite a few things up for you, okay, which I'm excited about. And you already mentioned it. Old Navy definitely has the hottest back to school fashions for less. They definitely have the best trendy and quality pieces that your kids will want to wear, but for an incredible price point, which is really important for our families. So, talking about vibes, we're all about vibes, and it's all about the denim, which is just a great item to have in the wardrobe as we transition from summer to fall. They have a ton of styles from the It Denim Fit, the high rise, straight leg to the low rise, flare, baggy, cargo style, you name it. Everything is going to be really fashionable, but super comfy. It's all about comfortable this season. Other trends trending are fleece, the 90s. They're so back. I'm a 90s girl, so here that is. And then the PJ inspired trend that's alive and well. We're going to pair our baggy fleece sweatpants with tanks, tees, graphics, and hoodies. Everything is going to be fashionable, but again, comfy.
Taylor, every time I see it, I mean, it does look comfortable, and I tell you, it blows your mind. Wow, look at the outfits there. But what else do you have? Because that's looking great.
Our kids are movers, they're shakers, they're in
Yeah.
PE, they're out on the playground. We see lots of activewear, and that's not going anywhere. But Old Navy really makes that true performance gear, but priced to win. All right. Families are going to win here. And if you're shopping online or in store, there's tons of options. You're going to look for Bounce, Studio Smooth, Power Soft, and dynamic fleece styles. Activewear is everything. But Old Navy also is great for layering. They have a variety of fabulous knits and sweaters for fall. All of these items will round out your back to school look. They also have fun graphics on tees, and skirts are back this year.
Now, Taylor, give us some price points because I know you have some ideas for us.
Definitely. Everything here is priced starting at $9.99. But there's something that a lot of parents don't know. And Old Navy has an oops proof 1 year guarantee for all back to school kids' clothes, which as a parent is incredible.
Now, I tell you, it sure is now. Where do we shop and go get more information for this? Because this is wonderful.
You can walk into any Old Navy store or to make it easy for you online at oldnavy.com.
Oh man, I tell you, Taylor, what a pleasure to have you here with us. Make sure you go to oldnavy.com for all the wonderful things that Taylor Walker has talked about. Taylor Walker has been joining us with the hottest back to school stuff. Taylor, thanks so much, and I appreciate you doing the show today.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, bye bye.
Bye bye.
More guests coming your way. Don't touch that dial. I'll be back in a moment. Hey, Amy, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Doing wonderful. Thank you so much for doing the show. What a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. It's great to be
Well,
on.
well, folks, we got to talk about tens of thousands of Americans are kind of living with serious lung disease, and but many patients may not hear the name until really after months or even years of unexplained respiratory systems, non-tuberculosis, or we should call it NTM, lung disease, is under-recognized condition. And so, what a wonderful opportunity to talk to Ms. Amy Leitman, President of NTM Information and Research. Amy, with that being said, I know there's a lot to talk about, but what is NTM lung disease and how is it really different than tuberculosis?
Yeah, so it is different. Tuberculosis is caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis, and then there are about 200 other species, which are the non-tuberculous ones. TB is communicable. It spreads person to person. NTM is not considered communicable. NTMs are in the environment. They're in soil and water, and we're just kind of surrounded by them every day, and we go about our lives and we're not really bothered by them. But if you have an underlying condition that can make you more susceptible to getting an infection, then that's when it becomes a problem.
And then talk about, Amy, why is NTM lung disease often under-recognized and also mistaken for other respiratory conditions?
So the symptoms overlap a lot with other respiratory conditions, including asthma, bronchitis, and COPD. So a lot of times it gets misdiagnosed as that. It was thought of as quite a rare disease until recently, but we know now it's not as rare as we think. There are over 200,000 cases a year in the US. It's rising 8% a year. And we still have a long way to go to sort of get to the point where doctors look for it more quickly, but we have made some headway on that. It's just that I think what happens is when you're looking at a patient with a certain constellation of symptoms, they're going to start first with the most likely culprits. What happens though is that after those treatments don't work, they're not looking at what comes next. What else should we be looking at? And that's the next step that needs to be taken. And, if a patient has been treated and they're not getting better, they need to go to their doctor and saying, this isn't working. Something else is going on. And what can we do? What tests can we run? Because we need to look for something.
And Amy, sometimes we wait too long, right?
Yeah, yes. Unfortunately, sometimes
Yeah,
we do. And I think
yeah,
everybody's been guilty of that.
yeah, yeah. So who may be at greater risk, and including people with bronchitis, COPD, or other underlying lung conditions?
Yeah, so you said it best. People with underlying lung conditions, particularly like COPD, bronchiectasis, which is a scarring of the lungs, people with underlying immune deficiencies are more vulnerable. And, we see it more in older populations because as we age, so do our immune systems, and they don't work as well. So it becomes a little harder to fight off infections. So we see it a little more in the older populations, and that's also a problem. So really, those are the more vulnerable populations. And it's important to know that you might have that vulnerability. There are other vulnerabilities as well. There are people who have something like rheumatoid arthritis and they're taking a certain medication that modulates the immune system. It's important to be aware that you have that vulnerability just so you can keep an eye out just in case you develop symptoms.
And then, Amy, when you think in terms of what type of symptoms I should say, should patients and caregiver really begin to pay attention to?
So the top three that patients report are fatigue, cough, and shortness of breath. What we hear a lot from patients is, I started coughing and I never stopped. So this chronic cough that doesn't go away and it doesn't respond to treatment. If you're losing weight and you don't know why and you're not trying to, um, there are other things. I think, if you have a low grade fever, if you've been getting more than 2 respiratory infections a year, if you're getting 2 or more lung infections a year and, you get treated, they're a little bit better for a while and then it comes back. If you keep getting those lung infections, it's time to take a look at what else is going on in the lungs, what's causing those infections, and, how those need to be treated.
And then, Amy, how can trusted information help patients, communities ask better questions about chronic cough, fatigue, or you mentioned recurring respiratory infections, those things, how can that help?
So, I mean, trusted and vetted information is very important. You want to know that the information you're getting is coming from experts. And if you go to worldntmday.org, our information that we put out is always vetted by experts in the field. And you can find links to all kinds of resources there, resources for patients and caregivers. We also have a network of support groups. There's a physician referral list where you can find experts in your area to help treat you if you need a referral. And there's all kinds of information on everything from symptoms to treatment and everything in between. There's also a link to our YouTube channel, which is a wonderful resource with over 120 videos on different subjects that help patients manage their condition and, feel better.
I would be remiss to not ask you, Amy, the mission of NTM, and how people really can get involved. You mentioned World NTM Day, so how can they get involved?
So, we like to say, spread the word, germs. So what we'd like to do is have people, you can log on to worldntmday.org and there's all kinds of social media posts that you can put up. Also, if you know somebody who's been having some of these symptoms for a while, maybe talk to them about going back to their doctor and getting a further evaluation. You never know. I can't tell you how many times somebody's like, oh, you know what? I told somebody, that I had NTM and I told them I'd been coughing and then they went to their doctor and it turns out they have NTM. I mean, this happens regularly with us. It's really not as rare as people think. But yeah, help us spread the word with awareness. That's the big key.
That's what this show is all about, is to make sure we disseminate the information to everyone. And thank you so much. Amy Leitman has been with us, president of NTM Info and Research. Thank you so much for all that you do and what your mission is, and appreciate you doing the show today.
Thank you for having me on the show.
You're welcome. All right, bye-bye. More guests coming your way. Don't touch that dial. Be back in a moment.
Hey you guys, Kendra here. Welcome to another edition of Beauty and Inspirations right here on the Everett Silver Show, where it is our goal to inspire you from the inside out. Thanks so much for tuning in. Let's get started. I'm going to show you some spring and summer fragrances I think will be great additions to your collection. First up, we're going to the House of Mugler. This is Angel Au Croisière 2019 edition. This is tropical goodness. You have mango, you have grapefruit, you have pralines, and you have patchouli. You guys, this is just so great. If you want to feel like you're on a tropical island, check out Angel Au Croisière 2019 edition. I also have a sample of Au Croisière 2020 edition. This is fig nectar and magnolia, as well as patchouli and praline. Again, you're going to feel like you're on a tropical island with these fragrances. So check out the House of Mugler, Angel Au Croisière 2019 and 2020 edition. Next up, I have a fragrance for those of you who like wood notes. This is Swiss Arabian's Anara Oud. This is great. This is notes of peach and raspberry, oud, vanilla. This is so wonderful. This reminds me of a nice vanilla sundae with fruit on top. So check out Swiss Arabian's Anara Oud. So the next two fragrances I'm going to show you come from the House of Dolce & Gabbana. First up, I have Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense. This is for you ladies out here who like crisp, fresh fragrances. If you like apple and lemon, this is right up your alley. This is apple, this is lemon, this is wood notes. This is real good, very refreshing. For you gentlemen, I haven't forgotten about you. I have Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Pour Homme. Again, you've got lemon, apple, and wood notes. I think this will make for great, refreshing fragrance to add to your collection, gentlemen. So check out Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Pour Homme, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense. And the last fragrance that I'm going to show you is a rose-scented fragrance. You know, for the springtime, I definitely think about roses and all kinds of blossoms of flowers. I have for you Parfums de Marly de Lena. De Lena is a delicate yet complex fragrance. You've got lots of notes: Turkish rose, vanilla, bergamot, rhubarb. This is so good, you guys. You can wear this to many occasions, many events. Let's say for weddings, this is perfect for weddings and brunches, teas. Very delicate but complex scent. If you're looking for a signature rose scent, why not check out Parfums de Marly de Lena. This is it, you guys. My spring and summer fragrance is coming to you. And until the next time, you keep it beautiful and I'll keep inspiring. God bless.
Seems like forever is coming. I can't believe it's happening to me.